culture is actually
Oh, now you bother to show up, Miami. Now you show up! Not when the games mattered, but here on this random-ass Thursday night in November against an AFC division leader. It wasn't even a close match where they played ugly and won. They put on a clinic on how to beat the Ravens' offense. Properly containing Lamar Jackson in the rushing attack? Giving Lamar fits by changing zone reads to prevent dissection of the secondary? Where has this defense been all season? This is the kind of rock-solid unit I was expecting out of them before the year. And the Dolphins are trying to lose. Brian Flores is out here making baffling moves with his QBs. The worst part about all of this isn't that we still don't know what the hell Baltimore is. And it's not in the endless blown coverages by the Ravens D. It's that the refs and their bullshit rules robbed us of a fat guy touchdown for the ages. On this blessed play, this lineman had the reflexes of Franco, the rumblings of the bus, and the grace of Lynn fucking Swan. Nobody cares if it's blatantly illegal. Fat guy touchdown trumps everything, even the rules. I am irrationally pissed about this, and I think Ravens fans are about this game. The Jets may be terrible, but glimmers of hope are rising at MetLife. And his name is Mike Goddamn White. He said he should have been the first overall pick in the draft. And he was the first overall pick in our hearts. For about 2 weeks. Welcome back to the cold reality of irrelevance, Mike. The Buffalo Bills defense will ensure that any hype surrounding your name is gone forevermore. It was a beautiful stretch, but 4 ugly picks dampened the mood on any situation. The Bills had their own humiliation to avenge, and they did it in a fine AFC East tradition, picking on the slow fat kid named the Jets. Nobody gives a fuck about them, and they apparently deserve nothing nice. See this shiny new quarterback? Well, he's gone. You get the old shiny new quarterback you had before. Farewell, you legendary meme. Mike White's body will remain, but I will somehow accidentally keep calling him Matt. There's nothing like dunking on the Dallas Cowboys for losing in terrible fashion. It's a week-long celebration for all of us. Except for when they realize they have incredible talent. Then we simply hope everything implodes, but were you not paying attention during the last segment? The football world cannot have anything wholesome. Quite a good win for them last week, right? Coming back after blowing yet another lead by not shitting it on offense? They must have used all of their power on that comeback drive. Dallas had scheduled a public sacrifice on Sunday, conveniently using the Falcons as offering for a chance at another playoff win. Jerry Jones will feast on the ashes of the damned. As Atlanta's organs are harvested while they're alive, they will slowly die hearing 4 words. How about dem Cowboys? This game showed last week was a fluke for both teams. We will now return to our regularly scheduled narratives. When you think things somehow can't get worse for Cleveland, they do. The sad part is that a good chunk of it isn't their fault. And a majority of their running back core took turns with Corona-chan, with rampant injuries destroying the team identity. This Baker Mayfield turns into a freak science experiment that won't get the hell off my television. They are the animal near death on the side of the road after being hit by a car. This team will be easy prey for anyone that stumbles upon their living flesh. Oh, look at what the Patriots found. A perfect meal for a hungry team. Cleveland was eaten alive, their guts consumed as they writhe in pain. Bill Belichick would make sure of it in all aspects. And when things somehow couldn't get worse, Baker Mayfield went down with a knee injury. What did you expect, a break? New England will treat them like they're the Jets. Right under our noses, the Patriots have won 4 straight and are now in position for a playoff push. Narratives be damned, the hoodie's back. Tom Brady, eat your heart out. If you were to look at their record, you believe the Indianapolis Colts have a shot at being playoff contenders, and salvaging a nearly lost season proves it. I counter with this. Name me one quality opponent they've beaten this year. Oh wait. Wonderful, they've beaten the Jets, the Texans, and brutally disappointing Dolphins and 49ers squads. Do you want me to crown them for an inflated record? I get that Jonathan Taylor is really good at running the ball, but everything else feels so damn underwhelming. Against a team like Jacksonville, nothing came easy. I really appreciated the fact that the offense faded to nothing in the second half, allowing the Jags back into the game. The Colts defense can't rest properly, and Trevor Lawrence's magical hair has brought this back to a 1-score game. I'll laugh hysterically if Indy blows this, but they managed to score points for the first time in what seems like an age. But Jacksonville is countering and they're only down by 6. They'll make their response heard.
Lawrence
is brought down. The ball comes out.
One of trying to secure their tank. Indianapolis somehow gets back to 500 by playing weak opponents and looking suspect as hell. Call me a hater, I'm not impressed. Talk to me when they beat a decent opponent, and then I may consider them contenders. Washington is such an aggravating franchise. Everything's going to shit, yet what is their response? Cutting their kicker for the wildly inaccurate Joey Sly and making them practice during their bye week. I have no idea what Riverboat Ron is thinking, but his actions somehow worked. Ideally, Tampa Bay would walk into FedEx and crush a job squad that's going to be without the wonderful Fitzception as he's fallen into a quantum warp. This is, however, not taking into account the Bucs' injuries at wideout and a defense devastated by a plague in the infirmary. The ultimate equalizer. Tom Brady looked quite mortal today. Some could say it's due to him not having his usual weapons. Some argue it's the reskin defense finally playing up to potential. Whatever the case, the football team, one of perpetually half-full stadiums, Chase Young's season being finished and Dan Snyder still being tone-deaf, did what seems to be a weekly occurrence these days and allowed sportsbooks across America to reap the benefits of another upset win. With Heineke under center, Washington gets the revenge for the wildcard game. Now, only if this had happened last January, we may have been saved from Tampa's might. You had to do this to me, didn't you, Steelers? Oh, goddammit. Fine, I'll separate this game into its own video. I swore I was done with this shit. Congratulations, this game is Lolcow of the Week. Nothing specific the whole goddamn game. I don't care if it's lazy foreshadowing, but it's absolutely justified. The Saints can march into Tennessee all they want, but no matter what they do, they'll come up short. It was an uphill battle to begin with against the Titans, but New Orleans keeps getting screwed over due to both themselves and bullshit out of their control. And things were looking okay at first. They scored an early touchdown, but whiff on the extra point. They miss Will Lutz badly, and it shows big time. But time passes, the game's tied at 6, and whoa, looky here! A crucial interception in the red zone. It appears you didn't have a license to disrupt offense, Saints. This is going to be called a hit to the helmet when it isn't anywhere near. Tennessee capitalizes on the penalty for 6. Nothing like the bullshit of ref ball, isn't there? Maybe fumbling the opening kickoff of the second half to give the Titans another easy touchdown, but I wouldn't say that's exactly fun. What might be are the Saints slowly chipping away at Tennessee's lead. They're quite hobbled themselves. They have no secondary and the defense is being held together by string. Time is ticking down and New Orleans is doing things without a chunk of their offense. Trevor Siemian, a city's counting on you.
Siemian, and caught for the touchdown!
An incredible touchdown, but here's the problem. Do you remember that missed extra point earlier in the game? This is where it haunts them. It's forcing the Saints to go for 2. See what I mean when I say they desperately miss Will Lutz? He may have been the piece that won them this game. A brutal loss to swallow. Hard fought, but no points for moral victories, unfortunately. New Orleans is still in position, but the playoff road just got tougher. What a shame. Times are tough in Charlotte. The Carolina Panthers have stumbled from the insane heights of 3-0 and are now in the shit. Sam Darnold seems to have decided that good quarterback play was overrated and went off a chasm. Fucker can't even complete an injury these days. He'll be seeing the ghosts of draft busts past when this is all said and done. With PJ Walker being unimpressive in his brief stint, Carolina is staring down the barrel of a lost season. This rebuild's axle has been broken. If only something could save them from this horrible fate. Look to the skies, Panthers! It's a bird! It's a plane! It's Super Cam! Fresh off a flight from New England to save Carolina from dealing with nameless QBs. His shoulder may be completely fucked and the move reeks of fan service to try and get people into the stadium as a way to increase revenue, but this is a way to make things right. A chance for a city to say goodbye to the best quarterback their franchise has ever had. Newton does nothing about the position in the future, but I'll let people enjoy things for once, even if it leads to their doom. Despite the cynicism for the return of Cam Newton, we get a throwback to a certain game in 2015. The NFC Championship game where the Panthers blew the fuck out of the Cardinals to lose to Peyton Manning's withered corpse. There was some good luck that came their way. Kyler and DeAndre are out again. And we learned that Colt McCoy is indeed Colt McCoy. Shit went to hell in a handbasket for Arizona quickly. The game was ugly and got uglier. The Panther defense chose to put on a clinic for a Kyler-less Cardinal team and put their season back on the damn road. I'll give Arizona the benefit of the doubt since they were undermanned again, but the Panthers aren't exactly elite competition. And at this point in time, Carolina now holds a playoff spot in the NFC. Because everything is fucked and nothing matters in 2021. I guess it's better than Atlanta, but still. The only way we can close out this game is with the immortal words of Cam. Denver, look at the situation in front of you. A golden opportunity to assert yourselves in the AFC playoff race. Nearly every conference foe in your midst losing their games. A relatively easy opponent in the Eagles coming a mile above sea level to play football. With all of this in mind, what do you think happened? If you answered the Broncos blowing nearly every conceivable opportunity and handing Philadelphia a win by means of relentless fuck-ups, then you'd be correct. All I can say is either Dallas played like pure shit last week or Denver got way too overconfident. Dear Lord, they looked sloppy in all aspects of play. We knew something was wrong when they fell behind by 2 scores early, but the fun starts in the second half. Repeated failure in the red zone only to have a chip shot field goal blocked thanks to a lapse in coverage. The blocking gates had just opened. Going for it on 4th down only for Melvin Gordon to fumble and the game transforming into a Benny Hill sketch. Teddy Bridgewater gave so few fucks on this play that you could call him Teddy Bridge quarterback. Like every other chance they've had this season, the Broncos settle on checking it down and fail to come anywhere close to the goal. This is why nobody takes you seriously, Denver. Because any team with some form of a competent game plan can rip you to shreds. Now get back in the irrelevant pile. This kind of shit is why the Minnesota Vikings infuriate me. They should be so much better than what the record suggests. The Chargers are a strong football team. They have one of the brightest quarterbacks and coaching minds in the game. They're developing an identity that they've sorely lacked for years. Yet for all of that hype and hullabaloo, Minnesota went right into SoFi and took care of business. Things were neck and neck for a bit, but the Vikings somehow found the clutch mode they lost in the attic all those years ago. Kirk Cousins was strong, the offensive weapons were reliable, even the defense made crucial stops when they needed to. Great, they're up by 10, what's to stop them from choking away the game like they usually do, you say? Here's why. The defense forced LA's offense to outchoke them. I know, it's stunning considering it's Minnesota. After that, just like the Chargers against Philly last week, methodical offense that effectively killed off the clock. The best defense is making sure your opponent never gets the ball. And the Vikings did it. With how chaotic the NFC has been for the wildcard slots, their season is nowhere near over. I don't feel glad for the Vikings. I somehow feel angrier at them for squandering past opportunities to assert themselves. You won a quality game. Good. Now do it again. There's not just one quarterback making his return in Green Bay, but 2 of them. Aaron Rodgers in his heel turn to pursue the ultimate State Farm quota's return from COVID protocol. Russell Wilson, in honor of his constant bailouts of Seattle's ineptitude over the years, is back from his finger injury as well. At legendary Lambeau Field, it's the perfect recipe for next to no offensive production whatsoever. You can almost say they were immunized against it.
You suck.
Okay, fine, you're right, I made that shitty joke last week, but it's still true. It was more of an issue with the wind conditions around the stadium than anything else. Even then, I have to give credit to Green Bay for holding strong on defense. When taking into account all of their injuries, it's not bad work for them. They managed to shut out Russell Wilson's Seahawks for the first time in his NFL career. Chef Russ was obviously out of season. He was undercooking everything tonight. It may have taken over 3 quarters, but the Packers finally got it together and managed to score this thing called a touchdown. It's good enough to rebound off last week's loss. Do you know they now hold the number 1 seed in the NFC? Crazy but true. They beat Arizona earlier, so they get tiebreaker. The NFL, folks. Holy shit. The Kansas City Chiefs played up to their potential as of late? They didn't look sloppy as hell in all aspects of play? It's about goddamn time. I get it comes with a few asterisks. The Raiders have rolled snake eyes. They're in what looks to be another spectacular collapse thanks to off-field drama. And there was no way the Chiefs' offense was going to be held down for so long, but still, I'll give credit where credit is due. Kansas City needed to make a statement after weeks of flailing around aimlessly, and they did it. The Chiefs finally looked like the Chiefs of old, and it was desperately needed. Not only for the narratives to stop forming, but to take control of a bloodthirsty AFC West. Everyone else in their division lost. Finally, some goddamn order to this season. There was one question that sports talk was buzzing about. Most of us regular peons didn't care, but the debate was on. Where would Odell Beckham Jr. be taking his talents next? He wants a ring. With him still sour from his treatment in Cleveland, he'll want quality playing time. 2 teams were finalists for his services: Green Bay and the Rams. The Packers did next to nothing, roughly handing him a contract for the vet minimum and giving him a cot at the team headquarters. The Rams gave him the whole 9 yards. Understanding of where he'll fit in the game plan, a nice penthouse near the stadium, and an incentive-laden contract. I wonder which team he chose to play with. OBJ's going to LA, and like many athletes before him, he'll chase a Super Bowl with a true contender. But as the Rams know, they must surrender a soul to acquire one. The blood omen has been sealed. The gods will choose their victim. Robert Woods. Torn ACL in practice the next day. OBJ now goes from luxury to necessity. Thank you for choosing Deals with the Devil. We hope you enjoy your purchase. You smell it in the air? It's the comforting aroma of hackneyed narratives. Nothing makes me happier than a crutch to lean on instead of trying to write creatively as I should be. Clickbait brings the views, am I right? Look at this kind of stale headline. The San Francisco 49ers once again pummeled the living daylights out of the Rams. Wait a second. The Niners? Thought they sucked. Apparently they do for every other team besides LA. Things were so dominating for the Niners that telekinesis was used for the Rams to drop every pass in sight and attempt insanely foolish fake field goals. Oh boy, did San Fran need this one. A win here not only keeps them relevant in the NFC playoff race, but is their first victory at home in over a year. I'm not kidding, the NFC is a bloodbath this season. And like all other things that are good, Detroit is left out because they're irrelevant. Welcome to the NFL, where nothing matters because everything changes in 3 weeks. Football is a brutal game. May the bell toll for the fallen.
Unit lost.
Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost. Unit lost.
Unit lost. Unit lost.
Thus concludes another week of this sermon on the field. Amen.
Rams missed Robert Woods. I mean, he was integral to the offense, right? Oh my gosh, what a catch. They got to get him for PI. He caught it. He caught it with his hamstring, Eli. The flag, though. They're going to get him for PI, I think.
He's probably grabbing him
not the hamstring. Not the hamstring. It's the...
word. You can't...
Oh, yeah.
Gluteus maximus.
There it is. There it is.